There it is. Hello.
Tuesday. Here we are,
Tuesday.
Tuesday lovers.
Hello, people. Welcome to the call. Welcome to being here. However, you showed up, whatever way you showed up, it always works. You
That's
know,
right.
how you show up works because you're showing up. Um, today we're going to bring you a call about becoming an Imagineer. So, an Imagineer is a person who could imagine, right? And so we have choices. We have choices to do I want to imagine something positive or something negative? And sometimes we feel like we have no control or no say in the matter.
That's
And
right.
a good imagination is called creator, right? It's an Imagineer. A bad imagination is called fear, right?
Right.
So this is Tammy Magnuson and Rita Wood coming to you here. And so, what do you think about imagination, queen? And I always think you're the queen of imagination. You're creative, you're imaginative, and you really visualize that stuff.
Yeah, I love that. I love being called that because that's like freedom for me. Okay. So I was using, and what was happening was I was the worry war. I was the worry queen. I was the fear. Like I could imagine the most fearful things that you wouldn't ever want to know what was actually going on in my mind. So I was using my imagination for negative things. And as I think about this, I love metaphors because they are the way the mind imagines something. Okay. When you say it says heavy, when you say I was hit by it's like I was hit by a train. Okay. What is that imagination? What does that create inside of your brain? What that creates is those feelings of what it's like to be hit by a train. Like imagining it is what
Or a
sends your
picture,
body into, yeah, the picture of it, the feeling of it, the sounds, the
sound, yeah.
sensations. All of those things are just your imagination creating this real event in your body that your body thinks is real. And that's what happens when, like, when you're watching a scary movie and your body starts going into like, and you're really touchy and you're jumpy and you're high vibe, high anxiety feeling. That's your imagination, and it works for you the same way as if you think these metaphors, right?
Yeah.
So the great thing is when I learned that it's all in my head and I get to change it. So rather than make this worry in my future, this horrible picture and sounds and story and this awful sensations that I was creating for my body and making myself sick, making myself shut down, making my knees ache, making my hips ache, being on
Hmm.
crutches. Like there was a lot of health issues going on because this is what I was doing inside my head, but I was unaware. I just thought I had to worry in order to have
To
it
be
not happen.
good. Yeah,
To
or
be
to be
safe
good. You worry
or
because
good.
that's a way of feeling love. Like, if you're not
Yeah.
concerned for somebody or someone, then to me it was kind of like that. It was like you
Yep.
have to suffer. You have to suffer too.
With
People are
them.
suffering out there, so I need to suffer too.
Yeah.
And we don't have to go there. We don't have to live in that thought process.
That's right.
So to be an Imagineer is you take control. You're going to take control back of what you're. How are you doing it? Like, Tammy, I love the way you explain it when you explained that part where like you realized you were doing it to you and how you were creating
Mm-hmm.
it. You actually
Yeah.
start. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, that was so exciting because up until then, I just thought it was happening automatically and I couldn't do anything about it. And so that's a trap. That's a feeling of helplessness. That's a feeling of hopelessness. Like, no wonder why I was depressed. If I have all these horrible things running through my head and my body just keeps shutting down and shutting down and shutting down. And here I was driven to do it because I thought that meant I cared about people.
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh, that's a payoff. That's the payoff was, you know what? If I worry and I'm concerned and I picture the future, the bad future, like, then I'm prepared for it. And then I really care about somebody.
right.
And that is now that's a mindset that I would never want to hold and I wouldn't want to give to anybody. I wouldn't want them to have that. I would want to use their imagination for seeing it the way you want it to happen.
Yeah, yeah,
For
and it's just part of the brain. It's what the brain does. It's the mechanics of the brain. It's here to survive you, to make you come to the, like you survived, you made it through because of all the ways you have behaved. But now it's time to take the reins, take control of that. And how do you do
Exactly.
that? How do you do that? How do
So
you do?
it was so fascinating for me being this way, and I'll share what worked for me. But we love to work with what works for you. That's what we love doing. We actually like finding out, like, what is it about your specific mind and the way you hold things and the way that you process things that we can amplify for you so that you can start imagining your life better. But for me, what I had to do was notice every thought. And I would think it and then I would say it out loud and I would let it go. And I didn't want to tell anybody I actually had these thoughts. Like I thought they were crazy and they really were. I'm like, what happens if I hit this tree? Or imagining my daughter riding horse and like, you know, uh, falling off and having the horse roll on her, or just like all of these horrible things that I would imagine so that I could be prepared. That's what I thought. I thought, oh, then I'll be prepared. So I would notice it and I would say, she's going to fall off her horse. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And I did use tapping sometimes. And sometimes I just used laughter. Sometimes I used panting like a dog. Sometimes I just imagined a song like, life is like a butterfly. So taking these things and interrupting them, that's the point. Like what worked for you to interrupt it? What worked for me to interrupt it is to do something silly with my body.
Yeah.
Do something playful or silly with my body, shake a
Yeah.
little bit, jump up and down, do squats, do jumping jacks, skip around the room. And so now I'm interrupting that line of thinking, which was negative.
Right.
I noticed it. I noticed it was negative. I interrupted it. And then I'm like, what would I really want to have happen? Be like, oh, yeah, I can imagine the crowds cheering and she makes this magnificent jump. And, everybody loves her and she gets millions of dollars because she's the best at this. And her horse and her have this beautiful connection where she can ride without a bridle. And it's so impressive to have that kind of relationship with the horse. And now I'm imagining it that way I actually want it to, instead of
Yeah.
just letting my brain run wild,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
wild horse.
Very good, very good. As brain trainers, we're trained to do that. We're trained to run you through those steps to allow you to start being the Imagineer that you want to create the life that you love. So we thank you for being here. Take every thought and tap it out, breathe it out, squat it out, whatever it is you need to do.
That's right. And it can really benefit you to just notice it and just let it go. That's all you have to do is just say, let it go, and then do something different. And that's your choice. And that's what we love about opening this great ability for new choice making.
Yeah.
And yeah.
We have a call coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow is November 10th. And if you sign up below, subscribe for the stop technique. So we're going to give you the stop technique. That stop technique's going to help you do what we're telling you to do. Because sometimes we're like, tell me what to do. Just say it. Print it out, put it on your paper, and follow those directions. Not only that, you will get emails of the upcoming free calls that we have. So we're going to have like live demos. That's what we do. So you can really see it in action. And if you'd like to be one of our demo people, go ahead and subscribe to that, reply back to the email, say I'm interested. And I think there's some questions that they have to answer.
That's right. Just 3 questions. So we kind of know how you're doing, what's going on in your life. And then we will choose the person and they get to be the demo person. And that's exciting because that means you get changes, but also you are making an impact for other people that are going to also relate to you. And there's a lot of people that relate to us, guys. Like, I think that was the thing, was I thought I was so different from everybody else. And everybody relates to what's actually going on inside of me. They're doing it as well. You're doing it as well. And so your life impacts others when you offer that. And so like this video, subscribe, make sure to click notifications, and tell us how the stop technique works for you, because I've already heard from people that are saying this stop technique is already changing my life. And it's that simple. It's just noticing it, stopping it, and using those smile, tap, oxygen, and get playful and peaceful. Okay. That's what you want more of, is inner peace. Then you get to grow that. It's your option and opportunity. All right. Super. We'd love to see you then. It's going to be about creating health and how our thoughts create our health.